So now that we're officially seeing a shift in the real estate market, a lot of people have been asking questions about what's going on. What do we think we're going to see? And is it a good time to purchase? Is it a good time to sell? Is it a good time to invest? Well, that's what we'll be talking about today. So I think it'll be great to just start off with where we were last year this time. So at the end of the year, I remember exactly like the beginning of last year, we were around a 3.1% interest rate. Homes were flying off the shelf, and it was competitive, like really competitive for buyers. Sellers were loving it because they get over asking price for their homes. But what changed? What changed was the interest rate went up, right? All this inflation stuff is going on. So the interest rate right now is around 6%, right? And that's on a good day. It's like between 5.8 and 6%. And so with the interest rate changing, it took a lot of buyers out of the pool. So what happens is, it's people that can afford more house. At 3.1%, their payment is lower, so they can afford more house, right? So it's people that could afford it then, but can't afford it now. So it took buyers out of the pool. So in that case, now buyers are winning, right? Because there's not a lot of competition, and then houses aren't moving so fast. Sellers aren't getting top dollar right now. That's what's going on, right? So what does that mean for a buyer in this time? Okay, so let's talk about it. So a buyer in this market, like I said, you winning. It's a great time to purchase because you don't have a lot of competition. Yes, interest rates are higher than they were, but I talked about it in another video. You can buy the house, marry the house, but date the rate, right? Because you can refinance once the interest rates drop. But it's a great time to lock in that value. I had a buyer who was looking last year this time, and he like, you know what? It's too tough for me. I'm offering like $20,000 over asking price. I'm giving appraisal guarantees. I'm doing everything, and I can't get what I want. So he told me, he's like, okay, we're gonna take a chill. I'm not gonna look right now. I'll renew my lease, and then I'll look next year. So that's what he did. He started looking this year. As soon as this year came in, he was calling me. He like, okay, I'm ready. So it was a perfect time for him. He saw maybe 2 or 3 houses. He actually got offers accepted on 2 houses. He made a decision like, I think I want to put an offer in on this one too. And we backed out of the other offer, but both offers got accepted. He couldn't do that last year, right? So this year he got both offers accepted. He could decide which one he wanted. And on top of that, he offered asking price, and he ended up getting $5,000 in concessions. And on top of that, his appraisal came in $10,000 over what we offered. So he came in with $10,000 worth of equity. Last year, this time, you were coming in negative equity because you're offering over what the asking price is just to get your offer accepted. So he was winning. Even though he has a higher interest rate, he was able to get the house he wanted for a lower price. And once the interest rate dropped, he's able to refinance it. So buyers, you winning. It's still a good time for you to purchase. Real estate is it's amazing because as long as you have the right strategy and your agent is teaching you the right things, you can always buy real estate and win. Even when people had, even 2008, when we had that recession and all the houses were going crazy, like even if people would have held on to them, even if you would have just held on, you would have still won once 2020 hit because you would have been in the green. You would have been way in the green. So it's always, as long as you are smart and you know the strategy to use and what to be doing, you are gonna win no matter what when you buy real estate, all right? So let's talk about sellers. So what are you expecting as a seller now? Now, it's still a good time to sell, but you have to be realistic, right? You're not going to get a crazy amount over asking price for your house, and you are not going to sell it within 2 days like it was before. You can still sell and you still can get a nice amount, right? But like I said before, the market has shifted down, and so we lost about 5%. Okay, so that's what you can look at. Like, you cannot see a house that sold for $220 last year and think that it's gonna sell for $220 this year. You're gonna lose about $10,000, $10,000 to $12,000 on that house just because you know, the market has shifted down a bit. So expect that. And what you also can expect is your house to sit on the market for about 30 days, right? So I just had a listing that I sold in St. Clair Shores. We put it on the market for, now we told her, you know, we probably couldn't get that amount, but she wanted to list it at like $215 originally. And we end up selling it for $208, right? It sat on the market for about 30 days, but she still had tons of equity. I think we sold it to her about 5 years ago, and she made almost $50,000 just in those 5 years, you know, so she's still winning. She didn't get the 215 or the 220 that she wanted, but she still got 208, and she was still able to sell her house, put some money in her pocket, and buy another home. It was multiple offers on this home. It was a beautiful home, and she was able to get it at asking price and also get concessions, right? And so in a market like we were in last year, it's no way that if you have multiple offers, you're gonna get it at asking price with concessions, but she was able to do that. And what concessions are, for y'all who don't know, concessions is when they give you money towards your closing costs. So before, it was none of that. Last year, you wouldn't get no concessions, no nothing. So she was able to walk away with money at her closing, you know, from her selling her house, and she was also able to get money from the seller of her new house, right? So it was a win-win for her. Now let's talk about investors. What can you do as an investor? Should I slow down? Should I not buy? What should I be doing, right? So as an investor, y'all know, if you watch me and you follow me, I'm an investor in real estate, right? And I'm still buying and flipping. I'm still, you know, wholesaling, all of that stuff. So it's still a good time to invest. But what you have to do is you have to run your numbers. You have to know, like, we bought a home that we probably could sell it for about $440. It looked like it could sell for $440, right? But with that, factoring in that 5% decrease in the market, we know we can sell it for $420. So I'm not going to I'm going to, you know, factor in that when I'm putting in my offer to purchase it. Like, I'm thinking through it, even though I see that the market, then the comps are at 440, 460. I'm like, no, we're not going to push it to the limit. Let's go with 420, just so that you can factor in the decrease in the market. So like I said, it's always a great time to buy real estate, whether you're buying, selling, investing. It's always a great time. It's just your strategy. It's just the mindset behind it, right? What am I going to do? How should I do this? So you're not going to be given top dollar, top offers. You're going to lowball those investment properties a little bit so that you can make room for the market. And remember, I think I told you guys before, when you're an investor and in this market, I wouldn't be getting big jobs because you don't know what the market is going to do, right? If you have a job that's going to take you a year to finish, you don't know where the market is going to be next year. So you want to do smaller jobs so that you can, you know, be in and out of them. You know, the market may not change as much in 3 months than it would in a year, right? So you want to get jobs that you can really get in and out so that you can capitalize on the market where it is and not be stuck in a market that has shifted down more, right? So that's what I would say if you're an investor. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I drop new content.